Hey guys, welcome back to Two Homos 100 Thoughts. And in this video, we're not going to be talking specifically about one episode. We're just going to do another Housewives of Dallas recap. Last time we did a recap was like when they were in the mid-season, about when they were just about to go on their trip to Austin. And not going to lie, we weren't really planning on recapping Dallas, but Dallas has been delivering. Like,
It
they've
has
been delivering.
been. It's been performing, and I'm really impressed with Dallas right now. Like these past few episodes, like it's been delivering, and you kind of see dynamics have changed a little bit.
I don't know. Are you liking Deandra? So, like, now that we're a little further in the season, how are you feeling about Deandra? Because I know you don't really care for her.
For Deandra, I'm still very like conflicted with her because as we talked about in the last episode we did about Dallas, like there's kind of like a spot missing with Leanne being gone. And like I feel like they're trying to like place that on like Deandra a little bit, and it's like it's making me not like her. Like what she brings to the table, I'm just not receiving it. You know what I mean? Like she's just
Yeah,
that plate that you kind of pass along to someone else. It's just not for me and my table. I'm sorry. Like
she can't sit with us,
she
apparently.
cannot. She cannot.
Yeah. And what was that game that they were playing? Like the chicken shit one that they were playing in that Austin trip? What was
Oh,
it?
like the chicken game. There was a chicken game where, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was very like
I don't
Vegas.
know.
Like they bet on
You're
a
from
number,
Dallas,
and
Armando. Do you
every
guys play
chicken had
that?
like a number. And all I remember is Carrie won, of course.
Like, I don't, have you played that before? Because I know you're from Texas. Is that something you do at parties?
No, no, I have never. Don't try it. Do not do it. Don't do it.
Oh yeah, like that's when Deandra, she was like gonna have all the girls together to go to the shaman slash hairdresser slash extension put on her. I don't know, whatever he is. I don't know. I just couldn't stop looking at his sideburns though. How about you? Like that's all I was looking at.
I could not get over those sideburns either. Like, and then the way they were just so perfect, like both on both sides, like not one was higher than the other, and it's just
Not
like he
gonna
put
lie.
too much thought into that.
The one thing I also keep thinking about, it was going back to the first episode of the season, is when he blew into DeAndrew's nose, and I'm like, sir, we're in the middle of COVID. Why are you blowing into her nose? You know? But yeah, they like go to this thing, and then Brandy's the fucking worst. She goes into her bullshit, saying how she like feels like something with the it has to do with the devil and some shit like that. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, I just can't stand when I guess like some people are religious, but to me, when it comes from Brandy, like who's not the moral compass of the show, who probably,
Mhm.
if anything, is the biggest trash bag in all of Housewives. I don't know. She's like not one to be preaching about Jesus and all the shit to me. I don't know what you think.
Exactly. Well, yeah, for sure. And I feel like when she did that, Mama D was present. So I feel like she was kind of like playing that up towards Mama D because Mama D was present when that occurred. Because
Was
if
she?
I'm not mistaken, it was Deandra who was like, Brandy, can you please ease my mom's like because she didn't like it. She
Oh
had
yeah,
it
that was for Tiffany's party.
That was for Tiffany's birthday party, correct? That carried through her, which that was like a gorgeous birthday party. Let's go ahead and talk about that birthday party because the
Yeah, go for
setup
it.
was very nice. Everything was beautiful. And like, if Tiffany didn't have girlfriends before, like, girl, Carrie is your girlfriend now because she went all out for your birthday.
Yeah, not gonna lie, and that was a really nice party, and it made me feel bad. Like when Tiffany was doing her toast about how she like never felt like the popular girl and all this stuff. To me, I'm just like, girl, you don't need to like look at her. Look at her house, you know, like she has
Right.
a good life, she has a good career. I feel like I don't know. I mean, it was nice to see how these girls are finally like opening up to her and kind of understanding her more. Because me, I like Tiffany. I know you weren't that crazy about her,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really enjoying Tiffany on this show. I feel like she brings something different. She brings money to the show
Yeah.
too.
She
And then
brings she brings money, but not like marrying into money. She brings like money and hard work, which I really like, honestly. So it was at Tiffany's birthday party that Carrie to do for her, where we had that big blow up with Deandra and her mom, Mama D, where basically it was about her last name being changed, and it was already tense because of the whole like shaman not being religious and that whole Brandy fiasco. But like, then she had that blow up with her mom all over the last name. And how do you think? Do you think that was hyped up, or like, or you think they were just drunk, or
and I think they were both drunk, but drinking game. What was her last name before?
it was Callaway,
Fuck.
Callaway, and she changed it to Simmons.
To Simmons. Okay, I'll take that shot.
I'll
Because
shot
not
with you. It's okay.
Not gonna lie, I didn't even know that answer. I wanted to see if you knew. So I tried it.
I remembered it because in The Great Gatsby, it was Nick Calloway, Big Gatsby fan here. Don't try me, ho. But here I am taking a shot with you.
Damn, I tried it.
Oh, girl, that looks like water, what you got, but we're not
No,
gonna.
I promise you. I promise you, it's tequila.
We're not gonna come for her today, but
No,
shot.
you can tell my face is a little red. Cheers. Okay, so yeah, not gonna lie, when Deandra first came into the scene in Dallas, I was a little impressed because I remember where my sister gave birth in Dallas. I remember seeing her last name, even at SMU. I remember seeing her last name in buildings, you know. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So now it makes a lot of sense of why she changed her last name. And not gonna lie, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I don't know why she got so offended by it.
There isn't anything wrong with it, but it's the way the mom said it did make her look like an opportunistic person, basically. Like the way Mama
Did you
D
not
said it,
though?
that she, I mean, I don't blame her, obviously. Like she's in that position, but the thing about it was it sounded very opportunistic because it seems like her original father, like her biological father, was in her life, regardless of her stepfather taking care of her. So like it's like a slippery slope because if your dad is in your life, he's not a deadbeat dad. He at least sticks around. But you have this like stepdad who's like incredible, and like every door opens with his last name. What do you do? Like and that's kind of like the moral here. And Deandra wanted it to make it seem like, oh well, he takes care of me, so I'm gonna change my last name. But she did it right when she turned 18 also, so that's also suspect as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised for the fact that she did it because I mean, she, like you said, it is very opportunistic and she is that kind of person. I mean, if you look at it, her fights with her mom have been about the company and about money. Right now, she has a falling out with one of her brothers because she took all of his inheritance. Just who she is, like a kind of a terrible person. You know what I mean? Because like her dad, didn't he kill himself because he was like an alcoholic or something like that? Like her biological dad. You don't know? No.
He may or may not have. I do not want to confirm or deny that rumor, but
allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I have no idea, to be quite honest with you.
It was something like that.
I know it was nothing to do with alcoholism because Mama D did talk a little bit about it on the show, but you can tell that that's very under wraps and they never go in depth about it. Like they're just saving that for like season 9 or something. But you gotta save your storylines.
Okay, so when they were at that party, like Brandy was like preaching, like I said, her bullshit to Mama D, like, and then I love when Deandra called her a cafeteria Christian. Even I don't really know what that means, but I loved it because I know it's just insulting Brandy, and I live for anytime anyone comes for Brandy because fuck her.
Right.
Well, but then I know like Deandra and her mom have like a bad dynamic, and like we saw that conversation she had recently with Tiffany. Like that was a nice conversation, but it makes me worry a little bit with Deandra and Tiffany because I hope she doesn't turn on her just for having like those nice moments with Mama D when it doesn't seem like Deandra really has those.
Right. Every time they have a moment, you can tell that it's very like
tense
storyline, like it's always closure to an argument they just had or something like that. It's never like a genuine moment. And Mama D sat there and told Tiffany how proud she is of her, and it's just like, whoa.
Right. Like, how do you think Deandra feels watching that? Because like her, like she like pretty much like Mama D like always throws shit at Deandra. Like, did you see that Instagram post she put like of her dog saying, "Oh, like the dog's in the pantry, always in the pantry," like Deandra.
Right.
Do you think they're like jealous and competitive with one another?
I think it's Mama D who's jealous and competitive, and I think it's just Deandra who like wants her inheritance ASAP on the spot. Drop dead and die, give me my money, but stay alive. Like
she wants her money
ASAP. Like she just wants her money. Like she has a house, she has a lifestyle, but the money she goes to her mom to get it. So it's kind of like you're almost there, not quite there yet. Housewife, maybe season 10 you'll get a raise, maybe not, but
not see. You know what? I'm not gonna play with you.
Dallas is here to stay. Okay, there is.
You think so? You think
Dallas. So? Yes.
Not gonna lie, I do love Dallas, and like when they announced it, I got excited because I used to live in Dallas. I mean, I'm not a Dallas native like you, but still, it's just Dallas is my second home.
I love how they portray our city, not gonna lie. I will give it out to these Dallas girls who,
Yes,
like they're always so elevated and they're always so elegant and stuff. Like
no,
they're
for
very
sure, and
polished. They're
I feel like
polished.
they did really good season 2 because season 1 didn't do it, but when they did season 2 and they brought in Highland Park girls, I'm like, okay, this is Dallas, you know,
This is it.
because the first one they brought in like Brandy from Plano, or like no, like bye, you
Right.
can I stay in Plano, stay in
Right.
Plano, you
Right.
know.
I think the first season what they did is they brought like new money slash like not quite there yet, and then like for the next one they brought like old money, like then people
Yeah,
who
it's like
have
Cameron
been in like who
Westcott
grew up with money and grew into the
and
money.
Deandra, and now they have Tiffany and Carrie. Like
Right.
these are all Highland Park girls, and I'm like, finally, because when I heard that they announced that they were gonna do Dallas, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna revolve it around Highland Park. But when
Mhm.
they didn't do that first season, I'm like, what is this, honey? In Nini's words, like,
Right,
where you
right.
live,
The
bitch.
episodes we need to be discussing is Stephanie Holman. She goes to that little town where she created the lockers, and she had such a huge layout. Dude, like no, like that school was like it was tarnished by the hurricane. Like that school, there was no comeback. She did the
Hold
damn
on,
thing.
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna disagree with you because not gonna lie, when I was watching that, I'm like, okay, she lives in Turtle Creek, like which is like right off Highland Park,
Hmm.
and which is not far from North Dallas High School. Like it's like a few minutes away. I'm not gonna lie, North Dallas High School is kind of rough,
It's very
right?
rough. It's very
So why
rough.
isn't she helping her local school,
The Dallas high
Stephanie?
school folks.
Stephanie, what?
Okay, well, the issue with Dallas, okay, we're not gonna get into Dallas ISD, but Dallas ISD has the money. Like, I
Do
went
they?
to a Dallas ISD school and they have the money, but it all goes to like two high schools and the rest are scrambling with the pennies. Like, that's the
Exactly.
problem with Dallas high school. And it's like if you invest in them, they get away with like stealing the money. But
Thank you.
that's not Stephanie's problem. We're gonna keep going.
Help your community, Stephanie. Why? Bye. Bye.
You should be a
That's where
community
we.
representative. You're so right. Stephanie Holman, run for Congress. You got me there. You got me there. Because that school does need help. It needed help like 5 years ago when I was in high school. Like, no.
They needed a bitch you 5 years ago.
Don't try. My 10-year reunion is like next year. How like
Right, bitch.
do it.
Don't do it. Like 5 years ago. Going back to the party, actually, Tiffany hosted a second party in her husband's hotel, and this is where you see where her money comes from because they own hotels. When I saw that
I own
hotel,
hotels.
they
Yeah.
had the whole floor to themselves. I was like, okay, now I see. You know, that's when I was like, damn, like that's where it made me think like, who's richer, her or Cameron? Because you know the Westcott's got money.
Yes, well, the West, well, that's a good comparison to make, honestly, because the Westcott family, everything is like Westcott owned, if you ask me, because you see their name on buildings and such.
Yeah,
But as far as like her husband, like it was like a Hyatt hotel. So he might be like an investor or something in the hotel where he owns
her
a
owners.
majority of it or a partial of it. It was such a
But
good party because it was
she did
super
so
nice.
good.
For one, it was super nice. Let's just talk about that. Like the setting was nice. They had the whole floor and it was very Hawaiian themed, which I really liked. Like everything was.
Yes. Like it wasn't a bolo party, but it was still a step up from her pizza party, you know, because like Cameron said, like not to be shady because I do love Tiffany, she did take some notes. But not gonna lie, like the way fucking esta Carrie was like chasing her around with the tiki torches and all this stuff. I just feel like, do you feel like you gotta like? I hate using this word, but like bully vibes from Carrie. Like, doesn't she remind you of like that kid who would just like pick on you like in the playground and just chase you around and bother you like the way she's doing with Tiffany?
Not necessarily. I don't get bullying vibes from Carrie because like I have been like the uptight person in the room before, and people just try to like, get me to loosen up, and they do little things like that that might look like bullying, but maybe it's like I truly do think that Carrie isn't doing those things with bad intentions. She just really wants like Tiffany to not be so uptight, you know, like she's a doctor and she's so proper and stuff, but she can let loose and have fun, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't always have
Yes.
to be just uptight.
Speak, Speaking of Carrie, I did like the conversation that she had with her daughters when they went out to that walk in the park about how she like handled the divorce wrong. I actually really liked that talk. That was a good talk. I don't think her daughter seemed that comfortable with it, but it seems like they had a good dynamic there. And because I haven't been crazy about Carrie this season, and in that moment, I actually liked what was going on with her.
Right. It showed like a very positive mother-daughter relationship she has with her girls, which we appreciate because lately they've been like villainizing her a lot, and
They have,
it's
but she's
really
been
nice
doing it
to see these
herself.
moments. She villainizes herself, exactly. Yes, she does that to herself because producers can't villainize you if you don't give them villain footage, is what I say.
Exactly. If Stephanie is hosting a trip to Oklahoma, I mean, I don't. I mean, we are the only reason because we're in a pandemic. Because other than that, who the
Hold
fuck would go
up,
to?
pause, Raciel. So you said Oklahoma trip. This is like a shock question. These girls did not hire a chauffeur for this trip. They were driving the RV themselves. Who drove first the RV? Let us know.
Oh, Brandy. Brandy's trash ass.
Because you
Such
know,
a
if
trash.
someone was gonna drive the trailer park, it was gonna be Brandy. Like,
Right. If someone was gonna drive the trailer, it's gonna be the bitch from the trailer park.
that's
I'm
so
doing a little baby shot because
right.
I'm having people over in a sec, and I need to like keep it together.
Keep it classy, Mrs. Vanderpump.
Oh, I didn't say classy, just together.
All right,
All right, well,
well,
cheers.
shot, cheers.
Not to Brandy.
Not to Brandy.
He's good.
I love when Deandra starts talking about her like 80s like rock girl like vibes. Like whenever Deandra does that, I kind of do live for her because I'm like, okay, like there's more to her. Like she wasn't like, you know.
Yes, like when she talked how she fucked all these band members.
Exactly. How she was a
Not,
groupie and how she like did every drug there is, and it makes
I
me
did
live
not.
for her.
I did not know one person or not one band that she was talking about, but all we know is that she got tossed around, and I respect that.
I respect that in the back of a tour bus, honestly. I didn't know any of the band people she said either, but then again, we're from different generations as her. Like if I said the bands I like, she'll probably be looking at me like, what? So like
Right.
Cameron Westcott is part of that high society part as well, because she's like married into the Westcott family. And I feel like if she had a past like that, it'd be like in a safe somewhere, like never to be found. And Deandra's just like putting dirt on her name. Like, you know, I love
Yeah.
that. Like, it's just
Yeah. Not gonna lie, like I don't think Cameron has a past like that. I love Cameron. Like I know I've been a little rough on her, but I love Cameron. She like besides Tiffany, I think she's one of my top ones. She's just so funny. She has me cracking up like every time she has something to say. She's hilarious.
speaking of Cameron, we haven't really discussed her in this episode. So let's kind of just discuss a quick segment about her.
Yeah.
Have you seen an update about her house? Like, you know how she has that dream house and
Yeah, she got her house.
okay, yeah, she did get her house. I wanted to say that, but I just wasn't too sure. But yeah, she did get her house, which is exciting. Her dream house that I think her husband kind of surprised her with it.
Yeah, $8 million house. Money, honey.
Money, honey. This is what we like in a housewife. Like
No,
that.
that's what I love to see. You know what I mean? And like that's why I didn't like that they were kind of hard on Tiffany about showing her closet because I'm like I want to see her closet. I want to see all the Birkins. I want to see all her shoes because she has a good closet. And
She
even
does have a good
for
closet.
Cameron to say she's never seen that many Birkins, that's saying something because
That's
Cameron
saying a
is
lot.
money as well.
That
You
is,
know?
I'm pretty sure Cameron can afford those Birkins, but it's kind of like her husband is
Yeah.
probably like, you ain't buying all those Birkins. Where Tiffany's working for these Birkins.
I wonder what happened to her dog food line though. Mm.
I did see pink toilet paper in this episode, though. Don't come for her.
No, I'm not coming for her. That was really smart though. Like when she says that, everyone was like running out of toilet paper and didn't know what to do. She was looking up pink toilet paper. I'm like, damn, this bitch is smart because no one
So
who would have
smart.
thought about. I mean, that's hilarious. But getting back to the Oklahoma trip, so Brandy's trash ass is driving there, and then Deandra takes over, and then they go to this big ass cabin, and then Carrie starts complaining about how why no one's helping them luggage out of the thing. And then this time I'm like, okay, Carrie's just not coming for anyone. She's coming for everybody because Stephanie is her Judy, you know? So she's coming for Stephanie in a way too.
Right.
But I mean, she's so high maintenance, but I love when they like do like that slow take of when she's pouring Grey Goose in her cup and then she pauses and she pours more in.
And they should
Like
pour
I can
some
relate to
more.
some. I'm
That's
like I can
literally
relate to
all of
someone.
us. Yes.
I'm like me. I couldn't relate to someone more. And
Yes.
then they start talking about the whole Bigfoot sighting, and I felt kind of bad for the dude because they were all pretty much telling him how full of shit he is.
Well,
Karen,
everyone was doing it subtly. Carrie was telling him how full of shit he is. And when she did that little
Tiffany
comment,
knocked the fuck out.
when she was saying that she hates hunters and all this crap, but she's sitting there like, first of all, Carrie, you originated in Mexico. Like, I know you eat your tiripitas, girl. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean hunters? Like, we don't spare the pig's feet. We eat that too. What are you talking about? Like, I don't know, but God bless her. She was probably trying to prove a point on TV. I don't know, but I have
Yeah,
no
they,
idea. Like,
like
we're
Tiffany fell
Mexican
asleep
people,
to
you
it.
know?
Tiffany fell asleep, and then when Cameron saw him, she's like saying the eye candy covers his beard and his hair, and then
That's
she even
hilarious.
asked like, "Is that one of the guys from Duck Dynasty?"
I laughed so loud when I heard Duck Dynasty because I thought it was gonna be that too.
I thought that too because when they're like, "Oh, it's a
Especially because
celebrity guest."
Stephanie said it was a celebrity guest, and so we were waiting for the celebrity the whole episode.
I know. I honestly thought it when they said, "Oh, it's someone from Duck Dynasty." I'm like, "Okay, there's a celebrity guest," even though they're homophobic. But I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, the episode finished, and I was still waiting for the celebrity guest, and I was like, maybe it's on Watch What Happens Live because it wasn't in the episode.
I know for real. Well, not gonna lie, Dallas is bringing it this season. Like I know you said that you miss Lee Ann's presence a little bit, but I think they're doing just fine without her. You
Really?
know? Yes. I mean, yeah, she was very like the center of it all. But to be honest, I think we're okay. I'm good without her.
I mean, they're performing. They are serving it for sure. And obviously we're watching. Like if it was boring, we would not be doing that. I hope you guys like the video. For those of you who are still here watching, thank you guys so much.